All right, guys. Let's get the show cracking. And we got a whole new set up. Yeah, let me know what you think, guys. Thank you. Spent quite a few times. I'm trying to change things, and improve. Just improve. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm really liking this one, so kind of hoping to go with this one for a while. I think it just kind of like sets a tone, what I'm going to talk about and all that stuff like that. Don't need to do an intro video and all that stuff like that. Talking about what needs to talk about, let's talk about our headlines. So the first thing on the headliners, guys, is should you stay away from players that just got back from a holiday? Players that just got back to training. For me, I feel like they're risky. There are definitely going to be guys who are going to just walk into the squad, which you can put into your team. But I mean, bro, those have to be people almost like Harry Kane, But even he's shaky right now. I'm not sure whether or not he's leaving. Probably by the time this video comes out, you would be hearing something else. But you know what I mean? People like Calvert-Lewin, people like Richarlison, people like Cavani, people like Sancho, a lot of the guys in the Man City squad as well, even the guys in the Chelsea squad as well. Like a lot of big players, guys, are just coming back now, who haven't really been playing pre-season with the clubs, but they've been in the tournaments and stuff like that, international tournaments. I feel like are risky. I have included them, and I think I've included, like I said, people who can really just come in and walk in. So, like example, I've got my draft team, which I'll go through later, is Calvert-Lewin. I think he's very vital up there for Everton, and I think if you had watched the game with Manchester United and Everton, Man United thrashed them, bro. Besides that, bro, they just didn't have any presence up there. They just didn't have any presence up there. So for me on that point, like I say, I think it just depends on whether or not they're actually real impact players, first team players. Another one is like Jack Grealish. It's a great idea. It's like, it would be nice, Hey, but you're dealing with Pep, bro. Hey, this man's got rotations. This guy changes his squad like he changes his underwear, literally, So I do feel like that main midfield would be like, I can't even say, of course, a Fernandinho or Rodri, and then you've got Gundogan, and then I like to play Jack Grealish as an 8. I don't know you guys, but I'd play him as an 8 in that midfield, and he would push up, and Gundogan, if need be, would fall down as a second pivot with Fernandinho, and I'll progress the ball with Fernandinho up to Jack Grealish, playing behind more the strikers and running around on almost at that free role. And then, of course, your wingers be Sterling and Mahrez, and then whoever the guy up front is going to be. But yeah, you see, there's just like players where you're like, hey, bro, not sure, man. Not sure at all. But one other thing I wanted to get into as well is my EPL predictions. Who's going to be the top one, the top dog this season? I don't know. I think what I can say, though, is I can name top 4. And then probably 6th and 7th place. So for me, okay, as it stands from the performances that I've been watching, okay? The performances. Liverpool haven't gotten themselves together. They haven't actually put the team all together, but I think for me, they're a very good, strong team, good contenders. They're very good contenders for the title. Man City have a chance, more than a chance. Everyone's really like, give it to Man City, especially if Kane walks into Man City. Then for me, I'm somewhere like, no, guys, just take it. We'll just fill in the gaps here in the whole entire Premier League, and just give you guys games to play. Basically, that's legit how for me, and I think everybody else is like, yo, if Kane goes to City, I was like, oh. I like Kane or Messi. Haven't really spoken about Messi, but would be great to see him. But we'll talk about that later in the transfers. But for me, my top four, if I was to go number four, I would say, hey, yo, guys are gonna be on my case about this now. Number four, I'd say Man United. Okay, only because of the coach. I think the squad is very good now, especially if they get Varane. It would have been nice if they got in a midfielder, but yeah, I feel like everybody says this. Ollie's just not the one to take them to the top. He can. It's just also paying in mind who he's up against. Now, with that in mind, Ollie fourth. Number three, I would then go as far as to say Liverpool. Now, it's not saying, Liverpool suck or anything. No. Again, it all boils down to who you're up against. I feel like if Liverpool could match that form they did when they won the title, which needed a lot of consistency and cohesiveness, and harmony, which they could have got in the preseason, but this preseason was interrupted by things like the Europa, the Olympics, those type of things, bro, didn't give people a good preseason. I felt like if they had that, they could have built it up and they probably could have come into the season very well. Van Dijk's back, he played today, on Sunday. And yeah, man, so these guys could, I think, contest very well, but based on that, I think they'll be third. Now, my number two, This is tough. My number two for me, I'm gonna say Man City. I just feel like I'm not a Chelsea fan, I'm an Arsenal fan. So me saying this is kind of like, I just feel like Tuchel, bro, it's like, brought another level to Chelsea for me. The way they play, the formation system, how it works, and having seen Pep go up against it not once, not twice. Yeah, man, it's hard to beat that guy, I won't lie to you. He's got possession. Firstly, it's part of his defense as well, same way as Pep does. Then his lines are very... the line between his defense and his strikers are 18 meters, which is the size of a box. So you can't play in between the lines as well. And then they're really good at pressing, as a unit. So with the lines compressed and them pressing very well, it's hard to play through them. It's almost you basically have to play balls behind them. And even on that themselves, they got pacey wing backs and even centre backs like Rudegaard for me still got some pace, as well as Thiago Silva. I mean, I'm not sure if they're going to start the season, but the team is here, bro. It's man. For me, guys, it's deadly. Worst of all, if they sign Lukaku, and pay in mind, this is me even thinking about it. Even if Man City signs Kane. I hear you. The reason why I say Chelsea over Man City is because also, I don't know why, man. This guy is such a great coach, but Pep, when it comes to title clinching matches or a match where it's bro, this is it. He overthinks it. He fucks up. He screws over, and he admits it in the Community Shield. He's no, I made a mistake. I mean, everybody walked into City got this. They didn't even have their full good, great team, but you were still this team is good enough to win. Yeah, and no offense to Leicester. Leicester had their proper squad. They probably just Amati did very well in place of Evans and Fofana, and Amati being the third choice, but he did very well. Got a clean sheet, bro, against City, so that Leicester themselves are also very good, but you couldn't even seal the deal there, bro, and for me it's that thing. it's not the ability of the team or his ability. It's just that one point of the season where it's like, okay, this is the game that's gonna define things. Boom, falls through. Down to number 5 and 6. I'd say Leicester and Aston Villa. Yeah, I'd say Leicester will go fifth, just because of the experience. I know it's like we might as well just pencil them in as fifth. But on the other end as well, Aston Villa's got one hell of a squad and they did very well at the end of last season. So I think they'll carry on through. They've got some really good signings. Yeah, man, those guys they're ready basically. I think the only person who could really screw it up here is the coach. But yeah, and maybe injuries could also screw it up for them. But I think they'll be fine. And then 7th and 8th. 7th, if West Ham continue their run, I would say them. And I say 7th West Ham because in Moyes, I believe. Moyes and the boys. Yeah, no, in Moyes, I believe. I think he came through, proved himself very well. And yeah, man. I mean, there's nothing else to say. 8th and all that stuff like that, honestly, quite frankly, I don't care. I didn't even have Arsenal in there. If I wish Arsenal was to be somewhere a top 4, but you heard what the top 4 was, hard to get. But yeah, cool. Now, more down to fantasy stuff. Let's talk about the strategy of playing the same team as others or mixing. Now, when I'm asking that, what I mean is like, so I don't know if you notice when you pick your guys, you can actually see the percentage of how many other people have actually picked them. And there comes into the question that's like, okay, cool, well, it's the start of the season. So if I want to keep up with the pack, then do I pick most of the pack's players as well? So of course you will be accumulating the same points they have, and then later on down the line, you can then swap in for your own players or players you feel who are in form and stuff like that. Now, to answer the question for me, I think it's a bit of both, right? Now listen, hear me out. Like, what do you mean bit of both? No, relax, hear me out. I think it's a bit of both because you need to, in a 100-meter race, your start needs to be good, right? And then you gotta pick up your pace. Now, you gotta lift off at the same pace as all these other guys. And once these guys like start whacking 100 points, 80 points averages and shit like that, yo, bro, it's hard to catch up. So, as a start, maybe you can do it, but not in the actual season because they've got their own strategies and they know what's going on and stuff like that, and you can't see what their next lineup is going to be or whatever. You know what I mean? I think right now you can summer pick for like you can see what who everyone's picking and everything, and then you can be like, okay, cool, yeah, so this, and I'm like, okay, so I'll be with the average, and then maybe I can choose my own strategy and break away with the average. I break away from the average into the top. I myself won't do that. I know I say both, but I'm not going to do it. I won't do that. For me, I feel like go big or go home, in the sense that it's either I get it right or I get it wrong. You know, I'm going to choose my players for my first 3 games where I feel like, okay, cool, this is going to work out for the first 3 games. And of course, in between, I'm going to be looking at the next 3 games and the next 3 games and the next 3 games. But my strategy, basically, part of it is looking at my first 3 games and like, okay, that's my squad. Fuck what everyone else is picking. If it happens to be the same, then it happens to be the same. Of course, most likely people are thinking on the same line as you. You know what I mean? But for me, that's going to be my squad because in my strategy, I know what I'm doing. You know, so I think for you, just make sure you know what your strategy is. You formulate your strategy, whatever. Part of your strategy consists of the majority of the players that other people have picked. Cool, that's fine. But also at the same time, understand that it means that you can't break away. if you're actually accumulating points. Because you got Salah, everybody got Salah. You know what I mean? You out here with Trent, everybody got Trent. You know, everybody, not everybody got Trent. So you gotta try and pick wisely. You know, try and pick wisely and see where it takes you. And hopefully you break away, you know, forward on top of guys instead of like, and that's what I mean. It's either you get it right or wrong. You can get it wrong where everybody else is accumulating points and the guys you pick, the team you pick just sucks, bro. And you're just like, crap. And then you start like, okay, fine, I'm gonna pick whatever. And I'm like, ugh. And like, this guy's been doing good, and you hate him, you hate the way he plays, and it's like, I don't get it. I don't understand why he's got these points. I don't know how he's accumulating points. And then, man up, whatever. But yeah, man, that's my take. That's my take on that. Let's look at it. So, what transfers could change everything? Like I said, I think this is the time where we can talk about Lionel Messi. I think Messi, you see, like everyone's asking right now, like, yo, where's he gonna go? Yeah, fine, he's having huge talks with PSG and stuff like that. But I still think it's 50-50, guys. You know? Tottenham is being an ass, so they're taking a while. And Kane's having a hard time. I'm not sure that Man City can really pull it off, you know? But with that said, these guys have still got the money to pull in. I think they've got the money to pull in Messi, you know? And I just think from Messi's perspective, it's just like, I wouldn't want to have that thing over my head. I was like, look, I never actually played in not just another league, but at least the Premier League, you know? Like, I've never gotten to play in the Premier League. And at least let me play there where I can still do something, you know? Not trying to do something like I can't, or like, hey, I'll come off the bench, like, you know? And people be like, this nigga sucks, can't even play in the Premier League, whatever. Like, excuse me. That could change a whole lot of stuff. Like, you know, you kind of, with these guys who are costing like 12.0, 12.5, you kind of end up building your team around them because, of course, you can't have like, you can, but I mean, then you don't really have much money. You know, like I did in my other video. Check it out. I'm going to try and link it up here, where I said a heavy duty team, and where you just like plunk money in a specific part of the field, whether it be the strikers or whatever, and then you like on your bench you basically don't have any people who would come on if somebody's not playing, which is risky if you ask me. I prefer the balanced team approach, which again I'll link up here. Yeah, I prefer the balanced team approach. Yeah, so I feel like you're building your team around one of those guys. Most of us, it's going to be Salah. Yeah, man. Another big signing that could change things, Kane. Kane could change things for a lot of guys. I know my brother said if Lukaku comes through, that can definitely change things for him. He said he doesn't care how much he's going to cost. He's going to put him there because he knows he will bang in the goals for Chelsea. So I was like, yeah, definitely would. So I think like those major signings for me would definitely change things. Like, yeah, hey, change the game, bro. Change the freaking game. With that said, I think let's take a look at the draft now. You know, I've had it up here the whole time, so you can kind of see as I'm talking, like, okay, who have I picked? But we can kind of go through it now. Let's look at it in terms of formation. Let's bring up the formation. You guys can see actually. Ooh, look at that team. That's what you call balance. That's balance. All right. Now let's touch on the things I said. Let's start from the back. Okay. Alisson, you know, should you pick the guy who's coming back, who hasn't been training, you know, with the team, who's just coming back, whatever? Hey, if you know this guy can walk straight in, yeah, I feel like he can walk straight in. Plus, Liverpool and Aston Villa have got good game fixtures, fixture difficulty rating. So, bro, no-brainer. Again, balanced squad approach. So, let's say Alisson doesn't play. Then I know Sanchez is going to come in. And they're playing Burnley. Yeah, they're playing away. But I have faith in Brighton. They've got a new midfielder. So it's a great partnership with Bissouma. You should check it out. I can't pronounce the guy's name, but I think it's Mbeu. I don't know. I could be wrong. But he's another African player. Really good. I think he came from Salzburg or RB Leipzig. But I know it's one of those Red Bull teams. I think those guys are going to be able to handle themselves against the other average mid-table, lower half-table teams and do pretty well. Plus, when you look at their fixture difficulty rating with the other teams and stuff like that, their fixtures, well, it looks good for the first 3 games. So that's my keepers. Then looking at the back line, you got James, Matip and Shaw. Now, I try not to pack my defense with people who are like the same, just in case. Like I'm not depending on one team, and you know how it is, bro. One goal goes through, like your entire defense is like screwed. Sure, we got Alisson and Matip there. That's cool, but even Matip himself, he's been playing all the preseason games and partnering with Kanote. On Sunday, he just played with Van Dijk. So to me, that tells me like, okay, cool. I thought Klopp would actually play Kanute with Van Dijk, which I think that's the aim eventually. But it seems like he's preferred to stay with Matip and Van Dijk. It's like he prefers Matip. Gomez is back. He's around. He's been on the bench. He's been coming in on and off the preseason games. But Matip's been the one starting the games as well and stuff like that. So could change, but even if it does, I know I've got Kufal. I know I've got Kufal. Like I said in my strategy video, which I'll link up here as well, Eric Coutinho was saying that he likes to play with wing backs because they basically contribute more in today's style of game, football. So you'll notice that a lot of my guys will be wing backs. Amati is basically an infielder, but at least an infielder which I believe is going to play. Played in Community Shield, third choice centre back. So I think he's a guy you guys can actually look to save money. That's exactly what I did and try to put the money elsewhere. Midfield. Aston Villa played today as well. Shockingly, I didn't know how they did. Well, they did. I think they did fine. But shockingly, what I meant to say was they actually played Ings and Watkins. But I didn't get to see what the formation was. And for me, that actually matters because it tells me who's going to be the outlets, who's going to be the supplier. And either way, I think if the two play together, it's going to be a matter of like Kane and Son, where if one is not scoring, the other one is supplying, But either way, the goals will still go through them in some way or another. Then Buendia, like I say, I think he's basically going to be there to try and, I don't want to say fill the shoes of Grealish, but he's going to play that role, that creativity role. So he's going to contribute a lot. I think he's a good cheap option, 6.5. So you guys should take a look into him. And the fixture difficulty rating is very good for the next 2-3 games. Yeah. I think it's 2 games, and then the third game is which is fine. You'll have 2 free transfers by then. Madison. For me, I went with Madison because of the pricing. Like in my midfield, I try to stagger my prices in terms of players. So I got like a 6.5, I got a 7.5, I got a 7, and I got a 12.5. So I can change into different players if I need to, depending on who's in form and stuff like that. So that Madison for me looked like the best 7.0 midfielder. It was between him and Barnes. I was like, Barnes. it's definitely scoring most of the times. Then I was like, hey, but Madison takes stuff, like, so a goal will come through him in some way or another. Barnes might just collect the 2 points and he'll spike here and there. So like two good games, 3 good games. I think Madison could steadily just keep supplying in almost every second game. But they got a fairly average half 50-50 good fixture difficulty rating list. So yeah, I think they'll be fine. Mount, one of those players where I'm like, yo, should you pick this guy? Hey man, he was in the England team, they went to the finals. I think is somebody who can walk in. ZH is doing very well. These are one of the guys who I think can change in terms of like who I'm going to be changing. So like, it's not my final draft, it's my draft. And you know how it is, bro. We change our team, bro. Like Pep changes his team, bro. So this is my team now, but weekend before, bro, like probably like Thursday, like 2 hours before the deadline, I'm probably like making those like few changes. But Mount, for me, it was either ZH or Mount. I put ZH there. And then I was like, but Mount is in the squad to play the UEFA Super Cup. So I'm like, okay, you know what? For me, this is how I got it. I'm gonna look who starts that game, and then I'm gonna make the decision between ZH and Mount, because ZH has been performing very well in this preseason, scoring goals almost every preseason game. Salah, no need to explain. Gundogan, yeah, for me, I just I saw that Buendia didn't play on Sunday against what's this thing? Torino. I think it's Torino they're playing against. And I was like, okay. I need to make sure Gundogan, because again, I could have put ZH there, but then I was like, you know what? I don't want to put like too much of the same guys as well, even in the midfield. So I'm like, let me put a City player. A City player I think is definitely going to play, but we never know with Pep. So I think Gundogan, especially also the reason why I think he's going to play is because KDB is not around. So he'll be filling in for that role. And as we saw last season, bro, he did it. He did it well, like no doubt. So yeah, man, I have no doubt in Gundogan playing. I think he'll be all right. Then we go to the strike force. Ings, Watkins, Calvert-Lewin. These are guys who are desperate to be in that World Cup squad. Let's remember this. And I was saying this, I'm not sure if I said this in one of my videos. I was talking to one of my friends. I was like, bro, these England players, like, they are going to be working their ass off to be like this season. Hey, bro, when I say banging in goals, bro, these guys, you're going to remember me. Be like, yo, Cat did say so. These are working their ass off to banging goals. Both Watkins and Ings and Calvert-Lewin. Because they want to make sure they are the number 2. In case anything happens to Kane, they want to know that they are walking in next without a doubt. And for me, that's what I'm going off of for all three. Of course, Aston Villa, good fixture difficulty rating list, matches, and then also Calvert-Lewin as well. First 3 games also not bad. So yeah, guys, that's the team, man. Yeah, that's the team. That is the team, and that is the show, guys. I know it's been a long show. I think I should make this something like Monday Night Live. And yeah, I should make this something like Monday Night Live. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. I like this type of format. Yeah, it's really cool. I feel like I can be interactive with you guys, and at the same time on whatever's on the screen, and talk about the fixtures and like what's hooking up, what's coming next. You can also have a glimpse of my team while I'm talking, so you know my thinking at the same time, like, oh, okay, explaining that. And then you can also see like what I've been talking about on the show and stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, hey, trying new things. I really love the setup. Guys, please let me know what you think of it. Hit me up in the comment section. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.